Kawaguchi was the light heavyweight reigning champion for 6 years in a row, undefeated. 6 years in a row, he hit a dive roll knee bar on every one of his guys and finished them. He was notorious for the plum and the dive roll knee bar. So one thing that I worked extensively from the day one, our first day of Tiger Hole training was to prepare ourselves for the fight. And that was the day that Brandon Lee passed away. So I walked into the Unisano Academy, and I think we were supposed to start training at noon, and I walked in about 10:30, and everyone was sad. And I go, "What's going on?" And they go, "Brandon on the Crow got shot, and he's in critical condition." I go, "Oh, they'll probably take care of him. He'll be okay. He should be okay." And it was just nervous and sad, and so we're waiting, and I think it was about noon, 12:15, the phone rings. Hiromi answers the phone, and they said, "Brandon Lee just passed away." That was my first day of training for MMA, the day that Brandon Lee passed away. What a sad day. So Chad and I, Yuri, we all had tears in our eyes. They said, "What do you want to do? Do you want to stop?" And I go, "I don't want to stop." I looked at Chad, and he goes, "I don't want to stop." And we just beat the shit out of each other for about 2 hours. It was the hardest training ever. So the first 15 minutes was right overhand. So the right overhand is the number one tool in MMA. That was the number one knockout. And it was all from here, and it was dropping the head, and then dropping the arm, and then looping it, and then following over the top. So the whole thing with this is the drop of the hand, the head off center line, and the loop. And it's super powerful. It works really well if you hit across and then drop and then rip it. So you hit across, then you drop and rip it. Now, if you threw the jab, it's the same thing. Right there. It's here. Okay. If you threw a kick, if you threw a right knee, if you threw a right kick, the right overhand, even if you start to keep it up, shoot a double. The right hand is a counter to the jab, to the cross, to the left kick, to the knee, to the right kick, and to the double leg. Right overhand was the answer for everything. So that's all we did is we trained for 15 straight minutes, the right overhand. So when I fought Ben Spiker, when I fought Kawaguchi, I zapped those guys with that right overhand because we trained it so much. And the biggest thing was this: you're here, you're fighting, you drop your level, you drop your hand, and then this comes out, and keep your eyes up, keep your hand here in case they knee, and then that's your right overhand. So again, you just drop, and you throw your overhand. And you can see, even if I go like this, and I'm kneeing him, look at his right overhand. Boom. There's a lot of guys, when they do the plum and they knee, which was huge back then, they'll throw an overhand at the same time and zap them. So that's the key on the right overhand. So Sensei Yuri put a glove on the end of a staff, and he put it on Chad's shoulder. So it was right here. And all he did is he would go whoop, just like a joust. So you had, this thing's coming like this, you had to move your head, bang, and then right overhand at the same time. So the hand goes like this, so it looks like this. And it's done with a drop and then a loop. Okay, slowly, drop and loop it. Bang, yeah, I'll come over the top, just like you're throwing an overhand softball. Yeah, so watch. Hands up. So I drop, I move my head off center line, my hand drops here, and then it comes over the top. Just cover. So slowly. No, stay there. Stay there. Look. Cover. Cover. High cover. See? So it goes here. Ooh, bow. And then usually, zoop. Okay, so let's see, slow motion, drop your level, drop your hand, drop. Now it loops and comes all the way over and hits like that. That's the overhand. That's how you zap someone. So you just work the right overhand. Whang, that's it. So I made a video before. I had Bryce do it. In that video, I took a softball and I practiced this, throwing it and then catching it. So for me to develop my right overhand, I went to the park by my house. There was a cement wall. I put a X, or not an X, I put a box, which is about head level. And I threw that ball in the middle of that thing over and over and over, and I had a baseball glove. So I just went like this. And then it would hit, it would bounce, and I would catch it, and I just would sit there for a half hour and work my overhand. Boom. Bang. So that's how you work your overhand. So just so to get a lot of power, we're going to use this excellent tie pad from Rev Gear. It's called the Heavy Hitter. Shameless plug. This is designed. This is actually a design from Japan. It's super lightweight. Kick. You can kick real hard. Throw a right cross. Throw a right hook. Throw a right overhand. Drop your level first. So for a wrestler, I would teach them a right overhand and a double leg, because you already got the double. Yeah. So it gets you in on a single or double. Look, drop, zap it into your end. Okay, so the right overhand, over and over. Wow. Just let that arm go. Drop your level first. Boom. That's it. Throw it just a straight right. Keep your hands up. Keep your elbow tight. Throw it right. Get it back. Zap it. Boom. Get it back. Keep it tight. Turn your knuckle over. Good. Now, drop an overhand. Drop an overhand. Oh! Throw straight right. Boom! Get it back. Keep it. That's it. And wow. So what happens? Hands up. If I go here and I go bang, I come back. Look. Oh, bang. That's the overhand. And that's what I use to zap Kawaguchi with exactly that one. Cross, and come back, now drop overhand. Pow! That's it. Right cross, and drop overhand. Pow! So if you look at this Rev Gear wall bag, these are excellent. So this would be someone your size. This would be someone fighting a bigger person. And the R, that's a chin. And that's what you're gonna hit with your overhand, okay? So drop your level. Yep, over the top. That's it. Just whip it in a half circle. That's it. Let your hand drop like this. So to me, it reminded me of a train. This is like a train, and it goes here. Wow. And keep your eyes up and keep your left hand here. I have a scar right here because I was training this other guy, my friend, 6'5". I go, whatever you do, don't throw any knees. I got to fight in a week. I can't get kneed in the face. So we're here. Here's what I did. I went like this. I went bang, bang. I shoved him. And I went like this, dropped, throw an overhand. My hand was here. Right knee. Whoa. Bang, right here. My entire eye socket. I had to go get my faceplate checked. They thought my faceplate was broken. I was holding. This is a week before my fight. I'm holding like this. And I remember looking at Nikolai Sonyak, our Savat coach, and he's like just horrified because I had a cut this big and it was all jagged, and I was just pouring blood. At first, I thought it was sweat, and then I went like this, and I started catching it. I looked down, and there's just a handful of blood. But it's funny because when they adjusted my nose from that first knee, what happened is they gave me another steel pan like the first one, and it had a steel rim around it so that you couldn't bend it. And when they were adjusting my nose and putting the things up it the second time, I grabbed it and I twisted it like this, and I twisted it. It was because it hurt so bad. And then I go, here you go, doc. And I handed him the pan back, and he freaked out because you have a steel rimmed pan that holds all the surgical equipment, and I was using it for blood, and I twisted it in like 3 times and turned it into a pretzel, and I handed it, and he was like, oh. Anyways, let's go back to here, right overhead. Drop, bang, zap it. Just whip that overhead. Okay, now you're fighting someone a little taller. Drop your level, bang. That's it. Now you're fighting a tall person, so you can even do this. And hit with that. I always hit with this though. And look at see how it turns? That's it, drop. Let your arm fall to your nipple. Ready? I fought Kenji Kawaguchi twice. So the first one, I think was 94. It was a non-title match challenge, and I was coming up in the rank because I had won. I beat Kusanagi. I actually beat Sakurada, but they called it a draw. They said you have to win by 2 points. I go, what is this, tennis? I won 51-50, and they said, oh, what they said, oh no, it has to be 2 points, so it's a draw. And I'm like, well, first of all, he challenged me. He made me put a handicap glove on, which was an extra padding under my, and I broke my knuckle. I broke my knuckle when he was here, and he slowly started to come in to shoot on me. I went, boom, and my knuckle broke. I broke the capsule of my knuckle on his head. So that's Sakurada. But I fought him, I beat him 51-50. They called it a draw. So then they go, you should fight Kawaguchi. He's our light heavyweight champion. And he's been a champ for 6 years, undefeated. So I fought him. I kicked him in the face twice. And so I knew what he was going to use on me. And here's what he uses. He throws a jab cross. Then he grabs the head immediately, and then he goes knee, knee, knee. Then he goes overhook, and he dive roll knee bars on me. Go ahead, jump. That's how he beats his opponents, just like that. You see that? It's called a Victor Nagi, named after Victor Koga. It's called a dive roll knee bar, also known as the Victor Nagi throw. And it's from Sambo. Okay, Victor Koga was half Russian, half Japanese, and he taught Sensei Satoru Sayama the dive roll knee bar and then the jumping kanibasami. And all these variations of these jumping throws came from Victor Koga. Okay, so one more time. He rips a 1-2, bang, bang. He immediately grabs. He goes knee, then knee overhook, jump, dive roll. Just like this, and then he grabs the back of his head, that's it, and finishes that. And what we do is we get it smoother. So he rips a 1-2, and then he grabs 1, 2, 3. There it is. And look at that, 2 hands on the heel on the side of the face, you know, the Mikey lock. And from 1984, that's a finish. The foot on the side of the face was made famous by my teacher, Sensei Yuri Nakamura. He was the one that started putting the foot on the side of the face because it stopped them from rolling. A lot of the old guys on the knee bar, step over knee bar, they would just hold the foot and arch, just like that. And back then, they would teach double straight leg, like this. So it wasn't until Pancrase started teaching 2 heels in the butt. Yep, 90-degree angle, square angle. Now they get a huge arch. Okay. And then cross your feet, same thing. Go. Shudo used to teach it with this leg like this. That was another way we'd finish it. And then another way, it was your outside leg would go over my leg. Over. Yeah, it's called a knee knot. That's from Sambo. It's called a knee knot. 1 hook in, 1 leg over. This one pushes, that one pulls. Go. Okay. And then later on, there was several finishes on this. Number 1 was just 2 hands on the heel, and he's just going to pull the heel to his chest and straight up in the air, pull the skin off the back of the heel. That's called the Russian secret. Number 2 is figure 4. Put your hand on top of my foot, figure 4 it, just like you're doing a choke. Figure 4, like this, on my foot, and crush my heel into my knee, and then arch. That's the second way. Okay, the third way was under the armpit. Just like, it's called a power knee bar. Then you can also put it under the bottom armpit, and you can knee bar it here, or you heel hook it here, or you power heel hook it here. Then you also have a toe hold. And then, when I bend it, you toe hold. And when I straighten it, you knee bar. Now you keep the toe hold and knee bar together and you use a double lock. You got a toe hold, knee bar at the same time. That's it. So these are all the finishes for the knee bar in the end. All but one. And that's the one I used on Kawaguchi. I knee barred him in the second fight. In the first fight, he went for the jumping Victor Nagi, and what I did is I sprawled, and when I sprawled, I landed right on top of him, and he was in a turtle. And then when I landed on him, he turtled up, and I hit a dive roll armbar. So it went like this. He hit a 1-2. He grabbed, boom, boom, boom. And when he went here, he slowly jumped right here. And this, as he jumped, slowly, he jumps up. I'll hold you. I sprawled, boom. And I landed on him. So I timed it so as soon as he jumped, I landed on him, and then he turtled up right here. Turtle up. So when he turtled up, my hook was already in. Just like this. So right from here, with my hook in, I posted on my forehead. I hooked his arm, and then I put my hand in front of his face like this. And this allows you to create space. Then I finished with the arm bar right here. Go down again. Okay, so what you do is you put a hook in, then you come under, then you post wide, keep your head down. Make sure your bottom foot is nice and tight, not on the floor, because he can kneel on my ankle. Not good. So keep it tight, head down. It's for balance on your forehead, not the top of your head. Then you push. Then your leg comes over, and then you push off the bottom leg, and this is the finish. And that was my first fight finish with Kawaguchi.